Well, good morning. Um, I really don't know where to begin. Last night, I had one of the worst nights I've ever had. Um, I was up till 4:30, cleaning my cousin's house to kind of keep my mind off things. But there's always going to be that one person that pretends to understand what you're going through, but in actuality, they really don't. Um, but you got them good apples, or what are you going to call them? You got them good people out there. That's always going to be there. But it just it is mind-boggling how many people out there who would actually say, "Oh, I'm here for you," and actually, I turn around and not be there for you at all. There are people out there, unfortunately, that are like that. You can't really do much about it. Um, because the fact of the matter is that me and my grandma were really close, and even though she's been dead for 9 years, I still struggle. And I'd be a fool to admit that I wouldn't be. I'd be a fool to admit that I don't struggle each and every day when I do. In actuality, I do struggle deep down inside to keep myself up off the ground. But yet, I always manage to fall on my butt. I always manage to fall down on the floor and cry. Now, I'd be a fool to admit that I didn't miss any of my family members who are gone. I'd be a fool not to admit that. I'd be a fool to admit, not to admit, that I have those moments where I just want to just cry. I'd be a fool if I didn't say I didn't struggle. Because deep down inside, if what I mean by that, by saying I'd be a fool if I didn't admit that or say that I wasn't, when deep down inside I am, that'd make a fool of me. And I ain't here to do that. I lost way too many people. I've lost way too many people. And what makes it worse, my birthday is coming up, and I can't even call the people. I can't. I just wish that got easier, and it really doesn't. And I wouldn't be who I am today if it weren't for them. And that's something I can't thank them enough, and I will never be able to repay them. And as much as I really wish I could repay the people who have made the person I am today. I really wish I could. But you can never repay anybody for help molding you to be the person that you really want to be. You can't repay anybody enough. You can't thank them enough for that. I don't care what people say. I don't care who I make mad at me anymore. I don't. I'm not here for a social hour. The fact of the matter is, if people want to be my friend and be there and support me when I need them the most, then do it. Don't sit there and pretend. Don't sit there and pretend like you're going to be there for me and turn around and stab me in the back. You ain't going to be doing that. I deal with my struggles dealing with the fact that family members are gone. So I do things to kind of keep my mind off of it. So I don't fall on the ground crying. I basically let it bottle up until it just erupts. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. I'm sure people lose loved ones at one point. I mean, not too long ago, lost a classmate, been maybe a month if that. Got a great uncle, has been gone for only 3.5, maybe 4 months. And you know what? And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be going to church. If it weren't for a friend of mine, I wouldn't be going. But now, I gotta do what's best for me, and that is to keep going to church. You know what would be nice? Is if heaven will allow people to peer down, check on us from heaven. Kind of like one of those two-way mirror kind of things, where we can see them. But no one understands how bad I was off last night. Only very few people do. And to be honest, I'm still not in the best mood. I do things my way. I don't care how hard I try. I try my best to be strong. Sometimes it don't always work out that way. But I'm always going to try my darndest. I know that my grandma's watching over me. I know my grandpas are watching over me. But the thing that tore me up about my dad's dad, before anything ever happened to him, the one thing he told me, he says the only reason why I'm still here is because of you. I'm not going to hang up that coat yet. I ain't hanging it up. And then what seemed off, what started the whole thing with that ball wax, I knew something was up. I knew something was up. When I get a video call after leaving the truck stop filming a call video, I seen my own grandfather laying on the bed on a ventilator. You know how hard it is to try to choke back the tears and tell them to hang in there and keep fighting? It wasn't easy for me. One day, before I got the video chat on Messenger, I tried to call my grandpa several times, not even thinking something was up. Not knowing something was up. Something wasn't right. Because normally my grandpa answered the phone. But this time it was different. It was much different. It was much different. The only thing I could do was leave voicemail, tell them hang in there. And they kept calling. And hoping that he'd be okay. God had other plans. But when they took him off the ventilator, within 5 minutes he was gone. And the hardest thing I ever had to see was either my grandma, which is my dad's mom, laying in the nursing home dying. You'll never understand until it happens to you. Put yourself in my shoes for a moment, will you? I know you do, and that's all you can do. But hopefully people will understand that's never easy losing a loved one. I want this to soak in. Have a great night. Before I go, I just want to remind y'all Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful day.